Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. And recently something really weird happened to me towards the end of a game when I was playing my ELC Even 90 on Corellia. And that was that I saw a player wiggling their turret in an incredibly awkward fashion. But you know, we all have bad connections, we all have trouble with our computers sometimes. But I can tell you that I managed to basically raid most of the enemy's base, and this T-44 just sat in that position the entire game, quite often going in circles, doing absolutely nothing, and just wiggling its turret in such a bizarre way. Either the player has a shaky wrist, usually something that would happen when a player disconnects, so I thought maybe, you know, somebody's just having a little bit of trouble. But the way that they're just driving into the corner, it definitely does look like it's a disconnect right now. However, let's take a look at the post-game stats. So after seeing what I thought was a very dubious play by the T-44 there, I decided to go and inspect their account and see how they've been playing World of Tanks recently. So there are a few things that set alarm bells ringing for me. Firstly, they registered the account on the 26th of December, just of last year. So the account is 9 days old. And in those 9 days, they've played 1,600 games of World of Tanks. Now, I'm a pretty sweaty player, but that is 177 games of World of Tanks every single day. And if each one of your battles roughly takes about 5 minutes, then that means they've been playing for 885 minutes a day, which is 14 hours a day if each one of their games takes 5 minutes to play. The next thing that's immediately noticeable is this player has a 38% win ratio. That's not particularly good in World of Tanks, but everybody can play the game however they want, no matter how badly, and some players can naturally get a 44% win ratio because they're just not influencing their battles enough. However, it's the other statistics that are a little bit bizarre here. In those 1,600 battles nearly, they have destroyed 2 tanks. That's not 2 tanks per game. That's 2 tanks in 1,600 battles. And on top of that, they average 2 damage per game. And in that 9-day period, they have managed to grind up to get the T-54, which they average 3 damage per game. So in the first 63 battles that they have played, that means that they have done about 180 damage. Now, 180 damage is less than firing a single shot with the stock 100mm caliber gun, suggesting that this player has only most likely done that damage from other players ramming them. And when we actually take a look at their hit ratio, there is no number, meaning that they have never fired a shot that has hit another vehicle. The player's damage record on this account is 437, and that was a single game that they played in Patton the Tank, a vehicle that was available for everyone, irrelevant of how new the account was, which, to all intents and purposes, was the only shot that this player has ever fired in the 1,600 battles that they have been playing. But the plot thickens even more when we take a look at the clan that this player is in. And that is that when we go and take a look at the win ratio of the clan members here, and we take a look at the lowest win ratio of the clan members, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 accounts. And every single one of these accounts was registered on the 26th of December. And you guessed it, they are all not firing any shots in the 1,600 games that they have played in those 9 days. Accordingly, while I can't say for certain, I think I have discovered an entire factory of bot accounts that have been filling the matchmaker for tens of thousands of battles over the last 9 days. Now, firstly, I'd like to clarify, this is nothing new. There have always been bots inside World of Tanks, but I think this is a really interesting case study that we can draw quite a few conclusions from. Firstly, if Wargaming ever decide to give a high-tier tank, such as Patton the Tank out completely for free, then maybe it encourages players who are using bot programs to claim this vehicle with an invite code to get the Excelsior, for example, and then use bot programs to automatically grind all the way up to tier 10 when they're probably going to try and sell the accounts on eBay, or alternatively, they're going to use these accounts to rig things such as marks of excellence or missions inside the game. What is most likely going to happen is one person out there has got all of these accounts running simultaneously on a single computer or a few computers, and then to all intents and purposes they could sign up all at the same time and then sign up their real account At the same time, they've signed up all of the bots, most likely late at night, as we can see that these accounts have been running for 16 hours a day, and then magically get into the game with all of those bots and then be able to farm them, to be able to complete missions or get ace tankers or to get their third mark of excellence, for example. However, the main point that I want to bring up is that when accounts like these, clearly botted accounts, are filling the matchmaker, it means that the amount of blowout games are going to be significantly higher. So if any of you have been suffering over the Christmas period with either AFK players or just very dubious bots on your team, then every time that one of these accounts that's inside one of these kind of bot factories of a clan gets onto your team, then you're going to be at a significant disadvantage. Or even if it's on the enemy team, then the enemy team are going to just roll over and create another one of the uninteresting games of World of Tanks. Accordingly, it's definitely in Wargaming's interest to make sure accounts like these are permanently suspended, and if they can see the IP address that they're running on and the player isn't using a VPN, then they use all of the tools at their disposal to make sure that that player can never use that computer again to continue to run bot programs and ruin the matchmaker for all of the real players out there. And then this is really where I want to come to my final conclusion. That clearly something is wrong with Wargaming's detection for bots inside their game. How is it possible that for a 9-day period, this account was running for 1,600 games and it's still running as I'm recording this video, and it was able to literally not fire a single shot in all of those thousands of battles, and Wargaming cannot have automated systems in place to detect this and ban the account quickly so it isn't ruining the matchmaker. Now, I could understand if this was some advanced AI bot procedure where they were actually playing possibly better than some players do sometimes, hitting a few shots in their game, actually bothering to fire, and, you know, that would be harder to detect. However, the fact that this account, it's not firing at all, how can that not be alarm bells for Wargaming that this account and also all of these accounts are just not actual players? This should be one of the easiest things for Wargaming to be able to detect and automatically eliminate so that we don't have blowout games of World of Tanks. So what can you do as a player to be able to help this situation if Wargaming aren't going to improve their systems to be able to do anything about it? Well, in battle, you can right-click the player, go to the complain function, and report them for an inaction/bot. Now, I was going to show you how to submit a support ticket, but I can imagine that the amount of support tickets at the moment at this time of year when a lot of people are playing World of Tanks mean that the system would become inundated, and then actual players who need help, either because their accounts have been hacked or maybe they've just got other payment issues on their account, wouldn't then be able to get responses. I've heard stories of people having to wait for multiple days to even receive a reply from Wargaming support at this time of year. So I'm going to take a look at the bot and AFK article on the official World of Tanks support section that was published in 2018. If you suspect that you've encountered a bot in battle, there is no need to create a ticket for player support. The administration regularly checks all players for botting software, and the necessary measures are taken against all identified violators. Well, Wargaming, I think you need to increase how regularly you do check this happening, because it's very clear to me that the system is just really not working. And if somebody can run 10 to 20 accounts off probably a single IP address that play 1,600 battles in a 9-day period for 16 hours a day, how many more telltale signs do you need to be able to flag these accounts and remove them from the matchmaker quickly? Especially at a time of year when so many people are coming back to World of Tanks and trying to lust after having those epic games. And finally, I'd like to clarify that I have submitted the account in question and the clan with all of the accounts in to Wargaming to try to get them out of the matchmaker as quickly as possible. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was it for today. Really hope you enjoyed this video. To let you know a significant problem facing the matchmaker. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments down below if you have been encountering a lot more bots inside the matchmaker recently. And if you're watching this video as it goes live on Friday, I'm going to be going live all day on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby for the final drop tokens of this December/January period. So come along, get your final loot, and make sure you use your tokens if you have any before Monday, as they will be stripped from your account and you won't be able to get any compensation. So use your tokens, boys and girls. Get yourself the eagle, get yourself those legendary styles, and spend all of the extras on all of the other stuff. So really looking forward to seeing you all live right now on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. Hoping that there won't be too many bots on my team. Although I'm not sure if that's a realistic ask of World of Tanks, right? And yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon.